So how busy are you? Are you finding that you just don't have time any day? Are you always struggling to get things done? Do you want to know why it's happening? It's all about you. Hi, I'm Tanya Shipman from Business Automation 101, and we're going to go through just what I talked about. One of the biggest issues that I find people always sharing with me is you just don't have time. I'm too busy. I'm not getting things done. I seem to be rushing everywhere, and it is all about you. You're not maximizing your time. Instead of being a time spender and a time saver, you're a time waster and a time loser in terms of losing time that you could be using more productively. So what am I talking about? What are all these time terms? A time spender is somebody who spends time to save time. A time waster is somebody who's wasting time, and wasting time is on things that do not necessarily need to have time wasted on them. To be a time loser is you lose time because you get caught up in other things. And to be a time saver means that you're looking at ways that you can save time in your life and your business. So there's a few explanations, and you're probably saying, how does this all impact on me? Well, it comes down to it's all about you. What are you? Are you a time saver, a time spender, a time loser, a time waster? And if you're any one of those, are you using the term effectively in terms of working out how can I save my business? How can I save my time? How can I be more productive? How can I get results? So if you're feeling that you don't have enough time, it's because you need to rearrange you. What are you spending your time on? What are you wasting your time on? What are you losing time over? And what are you doing to be able to save time? So how can you figure out what you are? Well, are you spending time trying to learn how to do something new? That's a great use of your time. It's about education, it's about improvement, it's about mindset, all these sorts of things. But once you've spent that time, are you putting it into practice? Now, if you're putting it into practice, it becomes a time saver, because the things that you have learned, that you spent time learning, will allow you to be able to get results. That's a good use of spending time. But if you spend time learning how to do something new and then you don't actually use it, or it's something that you don't need to use right now, you're a time loser, because you've spent time that you could have used on other things and you've now lost that time. So as an example of being a time spender that becomes a time saver, you need to create websites and you need to have a basic understanding of WordPress. So you spend some time watching some YouTube videos, doing a course, whatever it might be, so that when you're directing VAs, or when you're going to a developer, or you're getting more websites built, you can understand the terms of what they're talking about and be able to understand that it should take this amount of time to create a page, or it's going to take that amount of time to, have some customization done. Where you can spend time is you've decided that in order to change the background of your WordPress site, you're going to spend 6 or 8 weeks learning everything about HTML, just so that you know the codes and the instructions to be able to change the background of your WordPress site. That's being a time loser, because you don't need to get that detailed unless you're going to be a developer. But if you just want to know the basics, how to do the basics for a WordPress site and then get somebody else to do it, that makes sense. But if you're just doing it for one thing that takes a lot of time to learn, that becomes a time loser. And you don't want to do that. You want to be more productive and you want to have people being aware of what you do. Okay, then I'm talking about time saving and time wasting. So what are things that you can save time on? And then it's looking at automations and the software systems and training that I talk about in so many of my videos. You're saving time by putting these into practices, and it makes it happen. Where you're wasting time is that you're trying to make it too complex. You're unable to create a product because you don't have a sales page, because you want it to have all these bells and whistles on it. That's being a time waster. If people are buying from, and there are many people out there who are buying from really basic sales pages, get a sales page up and then see if people are converting or not. So saving time by I've got my product ready for sale and I've created a simple buy now web sales page versus I've now got to spend all this time making it look really, really smart. So it comes down to you. Who do you want to be? And there are people who love and have hobbies and fascinated by learning all the time. And if that's what you want to do, that's fine. Keep on doing it. But be aware that if you're not putting what you learn into practice, you are a time waster and you are a time loser because nothing comes from this. Now, if you're a time saver, are you saving time in the right places? If you're a time spender, are you spending it on the right courses or the right connections or the right events that you're going to? If you're going to 5 or 10 events a year, great. Are you creating connections that lead to your business being more profitable? This is what it all comes down to. This is what Business Automation 101 and what I do is all about. Identifying who you are and then working with ways to make sure that you're not a time loser, a time waster, a time saver who doesn't put it into place, or a time spender who doesn't put what they've spent time into a valuable result. So if you're interested in finding out which one you are, if you want to actually find out ways to be so much more productive, drop a comment down below or let me know how I can help you. I'm Tanya Shipman from Business Automation 101. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.